Happy Hump Day, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets. Powered by BetSports, we are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, very pretty in pink today, Mr. Andy Molitor. Did you watch the Atlanta Hawks just basically whoop on the Heat there for, the better part of 4 quarters of basketball?
I didn't catch the early one. My wife, oh God. All right, so this is a weird one. The very end of Karate Kid was on TV, like, which is almost perfect. Like, oh, he just got to the tournament and Mr. Miyagi's stealing the belt. This is a long way of saying she'd never seen Cobra Kai. I'm like, hey, have you ever seen Cobra Kai? And then she used the good TV to watch like the first 8 episodes last night. So I didn't even get to see much of the Timberwolves, and I went to bed early, honestly too. But yeah, I saw the
That was
scores.
just disappointing.
Yeah, I saw the scores. It looked like it wasn't much of a game anyway. And then I checked later, and it was closed down to like 6 or 8 points or something. I thought about watching it, didn't care enough to watch it at that point. And then, yeah, took in part of the Timberwolves early part. But, man, I was tuckered out. I'm like, I can't stay up till fucking midnight. And, I mean, good intuition on my part. It went to overtime. I would have had to stay up for another 20 minutes or whatever it is. And, yes, I found this hat as I was cleaning my room today. Not only is it Keystone Light, there's a bottle opener in the bill. Like I am a 20-year-old just
awesome.
piece of trash, The 30, we used to get the 30 packs of the Natty Ice. Jesus, really, really hard up. I mean, it was like $10 at the gas station in Brookings, man. And fuck you.
We used to buy cases of 40s. That was the cheapest way to do it. If you bought a case, you could get a 40 for like $1.25.
Yeah, I mean, you could print, and in that town too, especially at the grocery store, you could print a fake ID on like a graham cracker, and they'd be like, "Yeah, it's good, whatever." Nobody gave a shit. You just couldn't take it to the actual Muni liquor store. You had to, just if you went to the gas stations or Econo Foods, it's like, fuck it, have a keg. Party balls, we get party balls there. So no, but I did win. I think I'm gonna have to look at the date on this. I think it was when there was some steam about Kyrie joining LeBron, because I think that might be the only person who could possibly keep him in check a little. I did place a Lakers future, something like maybe right around 30-1. So it's not like I have a huge equity. I think there's still 20, 22, something like that, but a little bit of equity. So I have some teams alive. I can't remember why I placed a Hawks future early. I think this was like preseason. I think there was some steam around Durant landing in a few places preseason, and it was like, well, the Suns were one of them.
Atlanta was never on that list.
I know. I don't think that's what it was then, because I have an Atlanta ticket for some reason. It's like a big number. It's a decent sized number, and I do want to thank you, because of all the NBA futures I did have, one of them was Dallas preseason. For the same, I think that was the reason. Like, Durant was rumored to maybe go to Dallas, and once they got Kyrie, there was some equity, and I was able to cash out. Like, I did a couple, but it was like, hey, here's a $200 future. We will pay you $212 right now. And I asked him, like, should I just take these, like, cash these out? It's the only cash out book. And you're like, yeah, I don't see this, like, working out. And I mean, I probably only could have cashed it out for a couple days before that market collapsed, like the goddamn tulip, the old tulip market. So happy that I got my money back on one of them at least, and made like $24. So I'm not sitting real pretty. Honestly, my best future is likely the Sixers to beat the Nuggets in the finals one. So
it's happening.
Those are the two teams I'm cheering for right now. Even if the Timberwolves win tomorrow over whoever they'll play, and would be having to play the Nuggets in the first round. Not like that's a great matchup for them either way. So I don't know, thoughts on the Lakers' chances before we get to the. Well, actually, we should say that, because I seen what you're doing. Yeah, we will save some of that. We'll start on golf and get back to the NBA, because you have a couple of fun bets. I hadn't really thought about it.
Yeah, I've had a couple angles. Again, sorry, folks, no tennis today. As I've said a couple times, all the tournaments are happening basically now, and all the lines come out about 3-4 hours from now. So I can't talk about anything tomorrow, and I sure as shit can't tell you anything today. Again, fingers crossed. Maybe some of the bigger ITFs I'll get an early line, but I did add a couple of fun NBA bets. But you want to talk golf first because we have a tournament here where again Rory's out, and it's not the Masters. We don't have all the live guys this week, but pretty much everybody else is here, right?
Yeah, no Zal. Well, we didn't have Zalatoris last week. He withdrew before the tournament, but Zalatoris is out. Aaron Wise is out with just taking a break from golf. Rory withdrew, and the live guys aren't allowed. Other than that, it's everyone. This is an elevated event. This is a big purse. This is the winner here. I'm 95% sure the winner of this tournament will take home a bigger check than John Rahm did last week at the Masters. These elevated purses are nuts. They should absolutely be thanking the Live Tour because that was kind of the genesis of this raise. And I still think it's one of the most fucked up things that's not talked about. I mean, it's totally the, hey, I had an extra pair of gloves. My hands were getting kind of sweaty anyway moment. But like the tour didn't just say, oh, we did all this fundraising and like we're raising ticket prices and beer prices and we're charging extra for this to pay for these extra purses. They're just like, oh, we just had the money sitting there. We could have done this years ago. Like we just didn't want to because fuck you guys. So the fact that they're able to just raise all these purses out of thin air with this money was pretty funny and nobody's like mad about it except me, I guess. But lots and lots of cash and it's a cool event. It's a good course. Fun coastal course that also has a little bit of parkland feel. When you're on the front half is kind of wooded, and then you get out towards the sea. You have the iconic shot into the green with that big red and white striped lighthouse right behind it. So pretty exciting. And Dan did fact check it. The RBC winner will get 3.6 million. Rahm got 3.24.
Yeah, but the jacket, though.
I know the jacket, and there's no.
The jacket's arguably invaluable.
It's pretty much, yeah, and not that Rahm was going to miss a lot of Masters, in the next 20 years, but now he gets to play until he's super old if he really wants. So good for him. Yeah, it's a huge status symbol, obviously. But the winner of the RBC gets a tartan jacket, which is
the hell's tartan?
The pattern that would be on like a kilt, say, like a
Ew.
Scottish. Yeah, it's rough. It's kind of a fucking terrible.
Oh
jacket.
No.
Yeah, but you get a tartan jacket and you get to hit a tee shot next year with a cannon next to you, and they fire the cannon right as you hit the ball to start the tournament. So I mean, there's champions dinner versus cannon, green jacket, tartan jacket. Who gives a shit? Like there's a lot of people are saying
it's like a picnic blanket.
It's a tough hang unless you're a Scotsman.
Jim Furyk somehow doesn't look entirely ridiculous, I guess.
That's the interesting point too. There's been some names that aren't like top tier, top end guys who've won this because this never was. Yeah, it never was a big event. It was big enough, but it was the week after the Masters. A lot of guys were like, I'm taking a break. I don't need to play this. Now that the purse is so big, and the fact is they have to play X amount of elevated events, it's almost like tennis where, you're required to play so many events per year to satisfy the tour's requirements. It's the same thing. I don't know how Rory got away with skipping it. He's going to have to claim injury, I think. But it's either way, it's a fun event. He played bad enough where he could just be like, I'm hurt. And be like,
my brain hurts.
Maybe. Maybe you're hurt. So
just very serious.
I do have one. Everyone, golf is like, I'm surprised. I'm never going to get to this pick because I keep talking about stuff, but I'm surprised more people.
Really once more.
Yeah, I'm surprised more people don't take like mental health breaks from golf. It's like it breaks your brain as just a guy out there playing with your buddies or playing, you go for some solo rounds. It's such a mental grind to try to get good at golf. These guys are doing it at the highest level. I'm not sure I could sleep at night thinking about stuff. So
you saw it with Scheffler. He couldn't make putts those first two rounds. And usually one of the nicest guys in press conferences was really snippy with everybody. And you could see it on the course. It took a toll and he was able to sort of calm down a little bit, but yeah, it's tough to get out there.
Yeah. So a tournament bet I made. A guy I like. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you this too. I bet him outright. If you watched the golf show yesterday, if you're in the Discord, I bet Tommy Fleetwood to win the tournament at 75-1. I just thought that number should have been closer to 50. He has a great course fit here. It is not a place where bombers can overpower the course. It's a Pete Dye track, which means it's a thinking man's track, which means you're going to have to play station to station. You're going to have to be on the right side of the fairway. You're going to be contending with dog legs and tough landing areas, and you're going to have tough shots into some very small greens. This fits his MO perfectly. He played pretty well last week. And I'm happy to lay this price over Adam Hadwin, who's been much worse in a couple of the sections that I've looked at. Around the green is very important here. Like I said, the greens are tiny. People are going to miss the greens much more frequently because of their size. So you need to be good with your chipping, your around the green play, your sandies, whatnot. That is not Adam Hadwin's game. Tommy Fleetwood is actually semi-elite at that, at least in this field. Really good short game. He's a better putter. He's a better ball striker. He's had better recent form. They can both be a little squirrely off the tee. That's kind of the bugaboo with this pick. If Fleetwood is wild off the tee, things could be problematic here. Normally they run under an inch on the rough, and this week they did grow it up, or this year they did grow it up to about 2.5. So that's going to be the interesting thing to watch this weekend, is seeing just kind of the ball flight and what kind of spin they're going to be able to get out of the rough when they hit it. Because, I mean, in previous years, it was like, how they treat Pebble. Oh, it's a pro-am. We can't have Bill Murray hitting out a 4-inch Kikuya. We're going to make the rough really easy for fucking Macklemore. So that's kind of what we had here in the past. It was easy rough, and it's going to be a little tougher. And yeah, Fleetwood's a weather guy. Link Calhoun says so. It could be, you can get some heavy winds off the base, so it can be a little nasty at times. Full tournament play -122. And now we're gonna get to some Lakers shit. Let's talk Lakers. Let's talk winning time. Let's talk futures.
Yeah, a couple bets. Quickly, just a reminder, I like Oklahoma City tonight +5.5 in that playing game. And they're going into New Orleans there. Talked about this a little bit earlier. Really struggle with this number. Would have been closer to 3, honestly. So anything 5 or better looks good here. Like the matchup, but as Andy has sort of pitched here a little bit, you can see down there at the bottom, I'm taking some Lakers positions. Just really like the way they're playing basketball. Minnesota was great last night, and the Lakers figured out how to slow that game down, make it ugly. LeBron taking control, Anthony Davis just being an absolute monster here. And you look at these next 2 series, and they'll be big underdogs, obviously, against Memphis. I don't know if I've seen a price for that series yet, but Memphis, I assume, is a big favorite in that spot. Let me see if I can find one. I wasn't see if someone's put one up in the last couple hours, but this is the exact series. I think if you're the Memphis Grizzlies, you don't want to face here. It's a veteran team. They're coming in hot. You're still without Steven Adams. You're still without Brandon Clark, and it's just a bad matchup for that. FanDuel here has actually the Grizzlies here just -130. So again, the market here having a lot of respect for what the Lakers have done the last few months. 2 teams moving in opposite directions. If they get past that, you could have the Sacramento Kings in their second playoff series in 20 years, basically. I'm sorry, 15 years or something like that.
Since their GM was playing.
Maybe you get a Warriors team again, or a hot Warriors team. Wiggins is there. He's playing well. But, again, if the Lakers can continue to play defense at this high level, Anthony Davis has been a real problem for them. And as I start to look at this, I think there is some value in the Lakers to make a run here, possibly the Western Conference Finals. I don't expect them to beat either Denver or Phoenix once we get there. But if they do this, it's going to be through Anthony Davis. They're going to need him to stay healthy, and they're going to need him to continue to play really great basketball. So I think really the best way to take a position here in the Lakers is look around for Western Conference Finals MVP. That's up at BetMGM. And then Finals MVP is up just about everywhere, but the best price is actually BetMGM again here, 50-1. And just going to take a unit, basically split it up here, play a little bit on each. And this is my way of sort of covering the Lakers, who, again, I've been impressed with the last couple of weeks. LeBron looks pretty good. Davis has been fantastic. I mean, if he had played more games, I think he would have been in consideration as not MVP, but getting some MVP votes, possibly jumping into this Defensive Player of the Year race as well. So it could just be the right time. Maybe the Lakers, again, just like in the bubble, are peaking at the right moment.
Fill up my cup. I like it. I like some futures, especially. I feel like I had just the
Awards is
chalkiest.
fun.
We talked about this the one day where it was like, hey, remember when the the Warriors were like even money to win the title in like November, and I still bet it. It was similar to the other year where it's like, hey, remember when Steph Curry was like even money to win Finals MVP, and we still bet it anyway. I think that might be the only postseason award I've ever won. Not that we've had how long have we had this? The conference finals awards?
This is our second year. I don't know if we had odds for it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think last year was the first year because they gave it names. It's the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson Awards. And then this year, I think, was the first year. We definitely had odds for a while. Somebody might have put up numbers. But, yeah, I don't often bet finals MVP. It's kind of a funky way. I know we did this. I think we maybe bet Steph or something. I'm trying to remember if we used that for the Warriors last year a little bit, like Celtics series, Curry MVP or something. But, yeah, that's kind of the way to do it. It's not like Super Bowl MVP. Try to think about which team can win and what that looks like, and then try to go back and correlate again. What are the odds that they actually even get that far versus them winning versus the percentage again? And as I look at it, unless LeBron really turns back the time here, I mean, he's been happy to defer to Davis, and Davis has been awesome.
Yeah, you had me really close to belting out some Cher there, which I can actually kind of nail. I'm better at a couple of other songs, so
karaoke next time.
My only wish, my only dream for the NBA playoffs. Actually, you know what? I want the Lakers to win. I have a goddamn future on them. So, Lakers to the moon. Me and the man of the library cashing in on this. But
reading books.
If they do take someone down in the Western Conference Finals, Austin Reeves has been very good. I watched a little bit of Lakers lately. I want, and let's say it doesn't matter if it's AD. Hopefully it's AD. Let's make it AD because I'm going to put those positive vibes out for your bet. AD dominant, like 22-15 average for a 6-game series over the Nuggets, just staring down the big man on the other side the whole time. Doesn't go to the locker room at all, which would be great. No injuries. He wins the Western Conference Finals Magic Johnson Award. John C. Reilly walks out in full Jerry Buss attire and gives him the award. That's the greatest moment in sports history, right?
For a lot of us.
I don't know what Jeannie, real life Jeannie, would do. That would be a fucking trip. I don't know if she'd be happy about that.
I don't know what real life Jerry West would do.
Jerry West hated the show, which was fun.
That's what I mean. Like, would Jerry West tackle him on the court or whatever?
Yeah.
This is weird cheering for the Lakers. I don't like this. Can we talk about something else?
I don't like this. I will talk about a team I made a future bet on a few weeks ago to win the Champions League with their anthem and all. The Napoli.
Napoleons.
These teams it's not the same over there.
I forget. I've looked this up before too.
It's the Blues. I mean, you can just mostly call them the Blues. But Napoli does play this afternoon. And interestingly enough, it is a matchup between a team that's actually in their domestic league. One of the other Italian teams, AC Milan, a team that they lost 4-0 to the other day. Not the other day, about a week ago. It was on the 2nd, so 10 days ago. Interesting, though, they pretty much have the domestic league in the bag. They have an 18-point lead in the standings with, I don't know, like 10 games left, something along those lines. So not insurmountable, but, I mean, they're putting up pretty good results. They did bounce back, beat Lecce, which means milk, 2-1 after that loss. So I think they're pretty much focused in on, probably focusing it on taking down the UCL since they do have the easier side of the draw. It'd be awful nice to, you don't have to face City until the finals. They can get it done. And they've played 29 matches, so not a ton of matches left. 11 in the league play for Serie A. And Milan actually does have something to play for because they sit 1 point ahead of Inter and only 4 points ahead of Atalanta. And those are the spots, they're in the final spot to make the UCL for next year. And if they start to drop down in the domestic league, suddenly you're playing Europa. Suddenly you're playing Europa qualification. So I'd like to like to assume they're a little more focused on that than Napoli is at this point. Napoli's probably all in on the UCL. It is an away match, but again, it's not that far. It's not like you're traveling across the world. It's just in Italy. You're going to Milan from Napoli, from Naples, however you want to say it. So this got steamed down after I bet it. It got steamed down to like 105, like minutes after I bet it.
Back to 22.
And now it's well again. It's up again. So this is taking a lot of action one way or the other, but just based off their offense, and if Milan were to get an early one, you'd want to probably ramp up the aggressiveness there in the second half and try to at least level. I don't know.
This does feel like we at least push.
I know it feels like it pushes an awful lot of times. So I know Milan has had a lot of clean sheets in Champions League. They've played very good defensively in Champions League. They haven't played Napoli, and I guess yes, they did shut them out 10 days ago. But it's not the same. Like this is for all the cookies. This is for Europe, man. Dan says he has a Napoli UCL IGA French Open parlay.
I have one of those too.
God, what does that pay? Like 6-1? Those prices have to be.
I mean, Eager basically
probably
even
like
money.
eight. Yeah, even money plus the.
I forget what I got
Napoli
Napoli at. Yeah,
you'd go probably plus 350s. You go 4.5 times 2 is maybe 8 or 9. It's actually not. That's a fun parlay now. God damn it! I kind of want to add that. So
need more Eager parlays.
Yeah.
What do you think of the other game? Is Chelsea really this bad?
Yeah, Chelsea's had a rough patch.
Plus 440 at home.
Sitting with a new. Oh, Dan bet it months ago. Well, there you go. That's way better. 24-1. Yeah, Madrid probably takes care of business here. Chelsea's got a new manager that's actually. I feel like he managed before. Frank Lampard, former player, Chelsea. Kind of. Yes. I mean, Chelsea legend, but that doesn't always translate to like, hey, you're going to be a really good manager. You're going to for sure just come in and fix everything that's been wrong with this team, and you're going to do it against the best team in Spain. Like, have fun with that. So, I think that's probably a fair price for Real Madrid to win them. Yeah, if you want to bet that match, it might just be like Madrid total over. Yeah, Dan says that Lampard is just a caretaker. Like it's interim. He's just, hey, fuck, there's 10 games left. Plus, we're not winning the UCL. Can you just take care of this team while we figure out what we're gonna do?
Chelsea not to score plus 128.
Don't hate it. Madrid to 0. Madrid 3-0 exacta.
Madrid over 1.5 is minus 132. So that's no fun.
Yeah, I wish they were a little better price, but you can only bet what the market gives you guys. That's the rules. So I'll probably I'll avoid it for now, but I might get in on that later. I've got 3 hours before they start, guys. So a lot of time to decide what's happening in one of the most liquid markets in the goddamn world. It's like, hey, these odds are, but we keep beating it. Like we got to be like 80% on even the ones where we just kind of say like, how is that an under? Like, and then there's 7
it just
goals.
Is.
Yeah.
Soccer is easy.
Soccer is easy, guys. That's what I've always said. Hit the thumbs up. Thanks to you. Thanks to me. Thanks to Alex. Thanks to Dan. Thanks to Frank Lampard. Thanks to Iga Swiatek. And thanks to Monte Carlo. Even if it's hard to bet for the show, like it's been fun to watch. I do love this part of the season.